Hello, this video is going to cover the homework for CS 107 Week 12. The focus is on code.org CS Principles Lesson 5. In this video, we'll do a quick review of what you guys did in Lesson 4 and then get into some stuff you'll be focusing on in Lesson 5 this week. So in Lesson 4, you were introduced to this new platform, code.org's CS Principles curriculum. And in this curriculum, Lesson 4, you were introduced to a couple new commands that you can use specifically to move a turtle around for some basic sort of visual programming. Notably, there's no turn right command, so you had to write a lot of extra code in order to resolve some of the puzzles that they put forth to you. You also had the option of using block coding or switching over to text coding. The big challenge was in Lesson 4, Puzzle 5. You had to build this 3x3 grid, which is using simply the commands that you were given. And the upshot of doing that is that it probably took upwards of 40 or 50 commands to do this. So this is like an example of a solution. And if you took out all the white space and comments, this would be actually 44 commands, which is a lot, and sort of sets up this lesson 5, where you're going to get into writing your own procedures, also known as functions, in code.org. And so I think hopefully from this experience you had in Lesson 4, where you had to like write out every single command, if you can imagine that you could essentially group and give a name to a series of commands that you could just call over and over again, you can see how much more efficient that is. So one thing you'll come across in the code.org lesson is there's actually a video that will explain these concepts somewhat better than I do. So it's worth watching that definitely, and just even the thumbnail that they put on their YouTube video here, just a great definition. So the functions are what you're calling this concept in JavaScript, and then the generic term is procedure. So we've switched between languages. We've done this thunkable language, which is a block coding language, and we're now doing some JavaScript. And so generically or generally, we think of this process of grouping commands and calling them over and over again procedures. In JavaScript, they're specifically called functions. So you'll start off in Puzzle 3, and that's going to be an introduction. Again, you can go between block coding and text-based coding, and you'll be 1, defining your functions, and then 2, calling your functions. If you plan on challenging yourself to do some like writing out the code yourself, there's some specific elements of the syntax that you should be aware of. So when you're defining a function, the pattern is you have to write out the word function, space, name your function, parentheses, and then these these curly brackets, and within the curly brackets is where you put your commands. So just generally it would be the function plus the name of the function, parentheses, curly brackets, and the commands. And then when you call the function, it's the name of the function with the parentheses with the semicolon, which sounds complicated, but we can get into this together right now. So if we're on the first puzzle, which is Lesson 5, Puzzle 3, it asks us to define a function called turnaround, which turns the turtle around, and then it wants us to move forward. So if we're going to define this, we'll go function, and then we'll call it turn around. We'll put the parentheses and then the curly bracket, and then what we want to happen in turnaround is to turn left. So go turn left, and we'll turn left again, and that's our function. We have our end bracket, and we want to call the function. We go turn around, and then we need the parentheses, and then it wants us to move forward as seen. So move forward. Okay. And I've got these yellow things. Okay, so it's telling me I need to add, so after each command it wants us to add a semicolon. That's why we're using code.org. It's helpful this way. Okay, so we got to add semicolons after each command, and let's move up the speed because it's usually way too slow. Let's see what it looks like. And you'll notice, actually, you know what, it might be worth us just doing this slowly so you can see. It will show us like the actual command flow of what happens when we call it. So it's starting off, it knows we have this function here, and now because we called the function, it's going through each element of the function or each command within the function, and that's how it ends. Okay, so is that correct? Did we get this one right? Yeah, okay, we got it. So let's take a look at 4. So now it's given us, it started off with the function, and it wants us to draw this, what's going on here? A plus sign. So we wanted to do this, we would do, so it's already facing the right direction, so we want to move forward, and we'll put the thing there, and then move forward one. We want to turn around, and then we want to move forward twice, I believe. And I wonder if I can, yeah, I think we can just copy and paste so we don't have to endlessly write things. So that should take us down to the bottom. And we want to turn around again. And we need to come up one. And then we want to turn, I guess, to the left is the direction we'd go. And we'll go move forward. And then we need to turn around. And move forward twice. Actually, let's just grab this code. It'll be faster. And it wants us to, okay, and the turtle should end where it started. So now we've, okay, actually, let's just see what we have so far. A little confused. Okay, so we're up here. Okay, so now from that last point, we need to turn around one more time. Get out of here. And we want to move forward one more time. And then we need to get turned back. So because we don't have the turn right, we'll have to turn left 3 times. Turn left. Turn left. And turn left. All right. So let's see what happens. We'll reset it. We'll run it. Okay, finish. Yes. I should also show you guys how to do this with block coding if that's how you prefer to attempt these challenges. So I'm back here at puzzle 3 and lesson 5, and I'm going to define turnaround using the blocks. So I'm going to pull out this block, give it the right name, turnaround, and I want to add the commands that I want in it. So turn around would just turn left and turn left, and if I want to call the command, I'll just pull out my function, make sure it's calling the right function. Like you might have several functions defined, and then it wants us to move forward. So let's see what that looks like. Move up this guy. Okay, is that what it's looking for? Yep. Okay. All right. Let's try the next level here. Onto puzzle 4. So we have our turnaround function, and now we need to do this cross. So if we're going to do the cross, we're just going to do some commands here. Be move forward, turn around, and then we need to move forward twice. And we need to turn around again. And we need to move forward once, turn left once, move forward, turn around, and then move forward twice, and turn around again. I'd like to see more of this code, so I'm going to pull this up. Move forward, and then let's see where we are at that point. Okay, and then we need to flip it so it's up. And that's what it would look like if you're doing this with block coding. So it's fine to do the text coding or the block coding, wherever you're at, it is fine. So the rest of this lesson, it wants you to define a right turn function, and then basically, I guess, do this, make a rectangle. And then in puzzle 7, you'll, I guess, create a rectangle function. And then 8, 9, and 10 are sort of scaffolded. And so the goal is to build this diamond. And so in the first level, you'll do a small part of it, which is just drawing a step, which is the first thing here. And then in 9, you'll do a function, because we can do functions within a function. So you'll do, what is this? It wants you to draw a side, so probably should not. Looks like, oh, I guess I gave this to you. So now you're going to draw a step plus drawing the side would be another function you're going to define. And then lastly, it asks you to draw the diamond, which will include the draw step, the draw side, and the right. And you put those together into one function and call it, and it should look like that. Alrighty, decent challenge here, converting your basic commands into functions. Good luck. Feel free to email Piazza office hours. Have a great week.